Hello, I want to talk a little bit about error handling in Go and the s sort of standard Go way of doing that. You can see here that I have a main function and a more low-level library function. This function would be something like perhaps JSON Marshall here. It's just a very small, very singular purpose um, function that given an input, you know exactly what your output is going to be. It's going to be a very easily unit testable function. But so often I see here that people will handle their errors here, whatever they want to do, whether they want to log the error or they want to perhaps roll back some changes or whatever the case. But that is not the Go way of doing things. And it can be evidenced from many of the Golang packages. For instance, JSON Marshall, they will return a value and they'll return the error. And what we would do with that typically is check the error and do as we wish. So in my library function, if we pretend that I'm not actually doing this JSON Marshall here, but I'm actually performing some function, and maybe I am using JSON Marshall, it doesn't really matter. The whole overarching point here is that I'm not handling the error. I'm just simply not returning my value. Instead, I'm returning nil for my value, and I'm returning an error. The error could be an error that you write in this instance if you want to return some custom error and not return what you're getting back from JSON Marshall or whatever function you're calling. Though I would recommend it. If you get an error back from something, just go ahead and pass it back up to your more high-level functions. But otherwise, if we don't get an error, we'll go ahead and return the value, and we'll return nil for the error. So then back up in our workflow type function, we're going to check that error. And if we have an error, we'll handle it here because we don't want to start bloating and uh, weighing these low-level functions down with handling of errors and pulling in loggers or anything like that. We want to handle them up here in the higher level areas, and that makes things a lot easier to maintain, a lot easier to see what's happening. Um, and so that's kind of the standard Go way of doing things and the recommended Go way of doing things. Otherwise, if and we go the same from here. If we did not have an error, then we're going to go ahead and return the value that we received back or do whatever we want with it and then return it however it works out for your needs. And that's it. That's the main idea for error handling in Go.